Welcome back. When I was around 11 or 12, my chest started feeling extremely tender to the point that I avoided going anywhere near it during my showers. The pain was mild but constant. Touch in that area would be unbearable, and I completely avoided it. Even though I was in constant pain and discomfort, I did not mention this to anyone. Why? My mom had already taught me intense shame and had also thrown in a good dose of pain. I was already familiar with mom's brutal beatings. I had endured enough of them, and some were burned into my memory. But that was generic, like when I did not wash my feet before bedtime. But there was a whole other level of shame that mom would introduce me to, and that would color everything I did and said in regard to the forbidden topic. One day, I can't remember how old I was, but still quite small, age in the single digits, probably 5 or 6 years old. I randomly had a thought and asked mom a question. I asked mom that if a baby is in a woman's belly, from where does it come out? I could not think of any way out for that huge ass baby. I was sure it was not vomited out. So that was not an option. So I asked the question, expecting an answer, some logical answer. But out of the blue, when I had asked that question, mom looked enraged and slapped me the hardest that she has ever slapped me. I started crying and apologizing. This incident had taught me that certain questions or certain things offended mom and were off limits. That is why I knew to be frightened when the next thing happened. I was falling asleep, and for no reason that I could understand, I felt like putting my hand in my panty. Placing my hand on top of my privates felt pleasant, and I started falling asleep. At that time, we used to wear home-stitched undergarments called kacha or kachi. These were cotton shorts with a drawstring and no elastic. The next night too, I felt like placing my hand inside my kacha while falling asleep. And just like the previous night, I pulled it out after a minute and fell asleep. The third night, I placed my hand inside my kacha. But within that minute, mom opened the door and came into the bedroom for something, I don't know. I already knew from the previous incident that this would anger mom and would be something forbidden by her. Panicked, because I was already very scared of mom and her erratic beatings, I tried to pull out my hand fast. It caught in the drawstring, and there was a jerky movement under my sheets as I did so. Mom immediately caught that movement and flung my sheets away. I looked at her scared. Mom grabbed my hand and smelled it. Then she yanked me off the bed and dragged me to the living room. There, she made Ruby smell my hand and told her about what I had done. I felt so ashamed. I wanted to be swallowed up by the ground. Then, mom took me to the big paintings of Babaji that we had in the living room. We had 2 huge paintings of Baba Nanak Ji and Guru Gobind Singh Ji mounted prominently on the wall. She made me stand there with my hands folded in prayer. She asked me to seek forgiveness from Baba Nanak Ji and to promise that I would never ever do this again. Scared and humiliated, I complied. The shame was so huge for me. It was a defining moment for what I would and would not tell anyone. Mom had laid the foundation for me to never inform her if I was molested. Mom had also created communication blocks wherein I would never approach her with questions or with any aches and pains that happened around body parts that offended her. It was thanks to this approach that by the time I was 15, I had no idea about the birds and the bees. I entered college completely blank. And so, I did not inform her when I experienced pain and burning around my private parts. I just tolerated it for weeks. Fortunately for me, whatever it was went away on its own. This is the reason I did not tell anyone that my chest was very tender and hurt all the time. This is the reason I did not tell anyone anything when I was molested as a 12-year-old child. Mom had taught me that I was alone in this and that I would have it a lot worse if I tried to talk about such things. Mom had laid the foundation for me to be vulnerable to abuse when it happened and for me to be quiet and just accept it. That's all for now. Until next time, stay healthy, stay happy. Bye for now.